my channel. I'm Rosa Maria. Today I have a very simple sewing project for beginners, and this sewing project is learning how to make your pillowcase for your home. And this is a perfect project for beginners because all you need is just few straight stitches on just using 1 yard of fabric. And this project, again, as I said, it's great for you to make it for your home, gifts for your friends and family, and also if you have a Etsy store, you can sell a couple of these pillowcases and make some extra money on the side. So let's begin. The materials you're going to be needing is 1 yard of quilting cotton of your choice, a seam ripper, a sewing gauge, a thread snipper, cotton thread, and some sewing pins. Here's my 1 yard of cotton. Here is my 1 yard of cotton quilt. Here is my 1 yard quilting cotton fabric. Make sure that you iron your fabric before you store it. Also, I just want to make note, which I forgot to mention, make sure that your 1 yard of fabric is 44 inches here wide, and also make sure that it's 36 inches long. I place my cotton fabric on top of a wool mat here because I'm going to start to iron. And I just want to show you, I'm going to open up my fabric. And I'm going to take my sewing gauge. I already marked it as 1 inch because I'm going to create the hem, and I'm going to fold here the end, the width side that has 44 inches. And make sure that you have your iron ready. And I'm going to fold this and take my sewing gauge to assist me to make sure I have 1 inch. And I'm going to take my sewing, not my sewing, but I'm going to take my iron and gently press. And I am going to continue all the way and press. And you're going to continue all the way till you get to the end, making a 1 inch pressing. We finished making a 1 inch hem. Now the next step, we are going to fold it and to a 4 inch length. And again, I'm going to use my sewing gauge and move the marker to 4 inch. Okay, let me just check. Okay, it's a little bit too long. Let me shorten it a little bit. Okay, a little more. Okay, now I finally got it to a 4 inch fold. I'm again take my iron and I'm going to press it, and I'm going to continue to make a 4-inch press toward the rest of the fabric over here. And you could continue doing the same, continue folding and the 4-inch length, and using the sewing gauge to assist you. I finished making a 4-inch and I ironed it. Now take these ends here as you can see here, take the ends and I just want to make sure that I also match the end over here, and I'm going to start pinning. Take your sewing pin and start securing both of these fabric. Just make sure that the inside printed side is facing each other. And just continuing pinning. As you can see over here, I keep the salvage end because that gives a nice finish end. Making sure that these ends are aligned. Okay. Now that I finished pinning all the ends on these both sides, I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. Here at the sewing machine, I already marked inch seam allowance, and I use my tape here to help me guide the fabric as I'm sewing it. I'm going to back stitch to secure the fabric. I'm going to remove the pins as I continue to sew straight down. I'm coming here to the end. I'm going to lift my foot press and tilt it. Okay, I need one more stitch. Let me just flip it back. One stitch. Pivot this here. And I'm going to continue to sew straight down. getting here to the end. Back stitch to secure the fabric. And we're done. I finished stitching both of the ends of the fabric, and I'm going to take here my thread cutter and snip off the extra thread. Let me just see, take here this end and do the same thing and just snip off the thread. Any extra thread sticking out, just remove it. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to secure the hem onto the fabric so I can stitch at least a 3/4 seam allowance around the fabric. So here I go, do the same thing, just secure the little hem line there. As I'm getting here to the end, I'm just going to open here where you see the seam allowance. I'm just going to open it and just put a little pin there to secure it. And we are going to take it to the sewing machine. As you can see, I finished stitching the hem, which looks great. And one thing I forgot to mention, mistakes happen, and I made a mistake. I wasn't paying attention. I was supposed to cut, let me show you better. I was supposed to cut a little bit of off. Hold on. I forgot to mention, and it was my mistake because I wasn't paying attention. I was supposed to cut a little bit off here where the selvage is, at least as close as possible, because it'll make it easier and reduce bulk, and I didn't do that. I wasn't paying attention, so that was my mistake. So right now I am going to cut this extra here. I'm just gonna do a little decoy here, and then I'm gonna go back over here and just cut this off a little bit. Let me see if I can do this a little bit here. I know, a big mistake here I made, but that's okay. So this is done. And also I just want to clip the corners on both of these ends to reduce bulk. And now that we are finished, let me just flip the inside out. Let me just remove some of this extra piece of fabric out of the way. I turn it inside out. And I just try to make sure that I use my fingers for the corners to pull it out. Okay. Let me see how this looks now. Okay, not bad. I'm going to remove a little bit of this extra thread that is sticking out. Okay. So it's not that bad. If I paid attention, I wouldn't have a little lump over here to cut that part of the salvage off. But otherwise, it's a great project. I'm making it for my home. So if you do make a mistake, no one will know. Now I'm done. I have my other pillowcase that I can use to decorate my bed. We finished making our pillowcase. In the description box below, I provided a list of the materials that you need and also a link where you can purchase the materials to make this sewing project. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and your family, and also if you are not a subscriber, click on the subscribe red button to subscribe, and also right next to the subscribe there is a bell. Click on that too, and YouTube would notify you when I upload a new video. So hopefully next time I'll have a new project to share with you. Have a good one.